So it's October 6th. I'm here with Brittany. We had started here with Blaze's work. Now you had asked a bit about some things on the street. Yes. The M is extraordinarily cheap. It's addictive, but it really isn't finishing a person off. Sorry, I have to coach my terms. Whereas the F is the really bad one. Have you seen people walking down the street hunched?
It's this.
Yes.
Always.
Yes, we call that the F hunch. It destroys their spine. I've done videos about how that drug works, how it kills the pain between the brain stem and the dorsal part of the spine. The street people refer to it as their tail. We see this woman right there, right now, displaying the F hunch. Ultimately, it's fatal. I don't know if you've seen, as you're sitting here watching them, have you seen where they have the tinfoil cup and a tube?
Straw.
Okay, that's the F. The M goes in a pipe. Now, they tell me, because I've garnered their trust walking the streets in this city over the last year, that the F is readily available and the price continues to go down. I mean, the M is cheaper than a cup of coffee. It's cheaper than a doobie at your your outlet stores.
Right.
What do they call them? Whatever.
Yeah.
Like
a gardening stick, I'll call it.
Yeah, okay. But the F continues to just get cheaper and cheaper. And, well, we have to coach terms so much. I'm sorry. A year or two. And
you're done.
Yes. And I'm of a mind that our federal government, I mean, do we see them putting any serious efforts into stopping importation? And I don't see it.
I've been here for a week and I haven't seen anybody bat an eye.
Oh no, yes, it's just accepted. Even I don't blame the police on the street level. I mean, I was having a beer in the park with a guy one day, and he said, "We got to put our beer down. Here come the cops." I said, "They'll write us up for a beer, liquor other than residence?" Well, right beside us and over, he's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Well, isn't that backwards?" Anyways, can't blame the police on the street. But these people aren't going to be around to be a burden on the old age society or on the old age pension, are they? And even provincially, they won't be on the public dole, so to speak, after a couple of years. So, been a bit of an eye-opener, you say, in the time you've been here? Definitely.
It's just sad.
Oh, it's criminal.
It's more sad when you notice that one person potentially is pregnant and doing that.
Mm-hmm.
That's really hard to watch.
Yeah. Well, it's like, I've only been here a year now, and when I don't see someone, I wonder if I will again, and I often don't. So, anyways, that was a cheery discussion, Brittany.
Really nice, yeah.
Well, I hope you learned a little, even though it's an ugly thing to learn about. But yeah, when you see them, did I mention when they're hunched over like that on the street, they refer to it as their tail? When they're hunched over like that, the dorsal part of their spine, that's our tailbone in layman's terms, it actually grows. And they refer to it as on the street as their tail.
So you don't sit properly then?
Well, they can't stand and walk properly, as you've noticed. So, but yes, they actually, a growth begins to form there. And you can imagine what it does to their internal organs being compressed like that all the time, right? So, yeah, it's a one-way trip. Anyways, Brittany, thanks for joining me for this depressing. I've tried to do videos trying to do something to help the street people and educate people, because people don't realize, you know, the girls can't sleep at night. They'll be assaulted. So they sleep during the day. They'll find some place and people will walk by and assume they're passed out. Well, no, it's because they walk the streets at night to be safe-ish.
So they're exhausted.
Well, that's where they do the M, to stay awake.
So M keeps you awake and F
Is down.
puts you to sleep.
Right. Oh boy, you are a babe in the woods, my dear. Oh. Well,
I know my best is Breaking Bad. That's the closest I would get to.
yeah.
But you just have to wake up every day and think how lucky you are and how grateful you are to be in the place that you are.
Yes.
Not in the opposite.
Yeah. I knew a girl here, she was fine, she was working, she began to lose her hours at I'll say a fast food outlet. Less and less hours, ended up on the street, ended up falling into the bad stuff, and I haven't seen her in quite some time. After a year, I don't know if she's still around or if she went somewhere else. But people think it's a choice, often it's not. But anyways, I try to make videos like this where people don't realize why the girls sleep during the day and that they're walking the streets at night to avoid, I mean, you didn't know. You learned a lot of stuff you didn't want to hear, I'm sure.
It's just sad, but eye-opening.
Yeah.
The world is not all rainbows and happiness
No.
all the time.
Well, I've tried to make videos about the homeless and the opioid crisis. It's not my forte, I'm a researcher, I don't have the camera, all that business. And I don't see any point in doing videos of sensationalism. I'm sure you've seen the streets from Vancouver. Somebody walks down. Yeah, and I'm just using Vancouver as an example. There doesn't
LA
seem...
even. LA's really bad.
Where isn't, right? I don't see any point in making those videos. So I try to make informative videos about the hunch.
I would say, as somebody like from a larger city, or I'm not from Toronto, but I'm from Toronto, you don't get to see it quite like this. You
Not
see how horrible and sad and, you know, all of the people around, but you don't see it as up close and personal as this, I guess.
Yeah, I came from a rural location just over a year ago and I wasn't seeing it in real life.
Right.
So now I walk with these people, I work with them on the weekends, and when I was trying to do something last year, I would go and, believe it or not, use my tracking skills to hunt them down in their little hidey encampments and stuff, thinking I could do something. I really couldn't, but they become people then. They're not just somebody on the street.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not. Yeah.
I'm not watching someone on the streets in LA where I've never been.
Yeah. Right.
So, yeah. Well, it's been an eye-opener for you, just hanging here in this particular location as a place of transit and trade and traffic, as well, as I'm sure you've noticed.
Yes.
Pretty open, isn't it?
Yeah. Fascinating.
Hmm.
And horrible, but
Yeah.
eye-opening for sure.
Thank you, Brittany.